So at this time, we'll call to order the Board of County Commissioners meeting for the purpose of agenda review for next week's business session. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Schaefer. Here. Commissioner Allen. Here. Commissioner Clickham.
Here.
Commissioner Osterhaus.
Here.
Commissioner Ashcraft.
Here.
Commissioner Brown.
Here.
Chairman Eilert.
Here. All are present. We do have a quorum. Would the clerk please read the proposed consent agenda items?
Item number 1, consider approving the October 19, 2017 business session minutes. And item number 2, resolution number 093-17, consider authorizing land record projects for 2017 and 2018 for the Automated Information Mapping Systems, AIMS, and operation within the Department of Technology and Innovation, and transferring and appropriating excess Register of Deeds technology funds from 2017 in the amount of $256,824 for these projects.
Mr. Bartolak, are you present? There you are, hiding behind the podium.
Good morning, Commissioners. We are seeking authorization and appropriation of excess Register of Deeds technology funds. These funds by statute may be used for other land record projects. At this time, Ames has come forward with 3 of those projects, and these are projects that are really continuation of existing projects. And Shannon Porter from the Ames Department is here if you have any questions regarding those projects.
All right, and this funding comes from designated funds that are collected by your office?
Yes, sir. These are fees that are attached to recording documents.
Okay. Any questions? Mr. Ashcraft?
Mr. Bartlett, maybe before next week we could visit a little bit. This is a standard, I mean, we've done this for, what, 3 years now?
Whenever projects come up, if we have surplus, we come before you. Yes, sir.
I'd be interested in the designated projects. So if that's not you I need to talk to, then...
It would probably be Shannon.
Okay.
On those.
Well, bring Shannon with you or send Shannon in your place.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right, do you want to remain on consent or action?
Consent.
Consent, okay, so noted. Item number 3.
88-17 and application number AUOX-ADUP 3347. Consider a request from Dave Webb, applicant, and Webb Family LLP landowner for an accessory dwelling unit permit located at 4815 West 191st Street on 70 acres on property zoned RUR Rural Zoning District.
Ms. Wicklund.
Good morning. This is a request for an accessory dwelling unit, an ADU, located along 191st Street, just east of Null. As you can see here on the vicinity map, this is just an aerial view of the house. The red squares where the accessory dwelling unit will go, just south of the existing home. Just a reminder that ADUs can be processed either administratively if they meet all the criteria. If not, they have to go through a public hearing process. That's the case with this one. There's 2 criteria that they didn't meet. There's a maximum size of 900 square feet for ADUs. This request is to go up to 1,800 square feet. And the other is that they can be, the ADU has to be located no more than 200 feet between the ADU and the principal dwelling. In this case, this might be a little over 200 feet. So those are the 2 reasons that they're here going through the public hearing process. Both planning staff and zoning board recommended approval, just with the stipulations that are listed in the resolution. There's no issues or concerns with this ADU. If you have any questions, I can answer those.
Okay, again, this comes with recommendation of approval from the staff as well as the zoning board.
Yes.
Well, this is a planning item, so it'll remain on action. Next item.
Item number 4, resolution number 094-17. Consider adopting the strategic plan for the County Assistance Road System Program.
Mr. Lage.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kent Lage, Urban Services, Public Works Department. As I like to tell you guys, it's always a good day to talk infrastructure and transportation in Johnson County. So that's what we're here for today. We are presenting a resolution for you to consider to adopt the CARS strategic plan. The plan was presented to you at a committee of the whole meeting in September. Based on that presentation, we are bringing this back in front of you as a resolution for your consideration. Since that presentation, we have received feedback, comments, and questions that we have provide some clarifying wording in our strategic plan, and we have run that back through the steering committee, and the steering committee does support that. So what we have in front of you does have the full support of the steering committee. As a recap of the strategic plan, CARS has had bylaws, policies, and administrative procedures that we've operated under since the mid-'80s. They have been updated, but to date we have not had a strategic plan to guide the program into the future, and that is what we have in front of you today. We had a diverse steering team comprised of CARS Technical Review Committee members, city and county administration staff, as well as city council and county commission representation. We also received input from multiple stakeholders, including other city staff, other county departments, neighboring cities and counties, the Mid-America Regional Council, and local engineering firms. We also completed benchmarking exercise looking at national trends and state of the practice in transportation throughout the United States. As a result of all that information, the steering team came up with 4 overarching recommendations. The first was to leave the current CARS funding approach as is, meaning the gas tax and the county general revenue that is currently collected and used to fund improvements and maintenance continue to use the funds as is. We generated and developed a mission and vision statement. We created a planning scenario to further articulate the future of the CARS program, and also identified through the benchmarking exercise 4 gap areas. Those 4 gap areas are livable streets, which consider various transportation modes, economic vitality, and the environment. The second one is multimodal systems, which provides for comprehensive transportation solutions and options for the diverse traveling public in Johnson County and through Johnson County. Intelligent transportation systems, which integrate technology into the transportation network. These need to be considered as part of the larger smart city efforts that are going on throughout the metropolitan areas as well as throughout the country, and particularly with the seemingly imminent integration of autonomous vehicles onto our transportation network. And finally, the identification of additional and alternative funding, which will look to future funding options if and as needed for the implementation and continued maintenance and improvements to the transportation network. Implementation will occur in 2 phases. Phase 1 will be updating of our policies and procedures, and Phase 2 will be full implementation as funding allows. And with that, I'll stand for any questions.
Okay, again, clarification, this is a strategic plan or a policy statement, not specific project.
Correct.
Corrected. Okay. Questions? Mr. Ashcraft.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Lage, I think I heard you say that you took this back to the process and made some adjustments. Was that in our packet, those changes? I just don't remember them.
No, we did not identify those changes to you. There were some clarified changes that I can point out to you.
Between now and next week, if you don't mind. And I got a couple other questions, but it kind of was spawned by that observation. So if you would, thank you.
Okay, well, this will remain on action. Thank you very much. Are there any other items?
No, sir.
All right, that concludes our agenda review for next week's meeting. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.